Innovative content. Global audience.
Thank God it's Friday. Coming to you live from our studio, SRTV Studios in Abuja. It's your favorite program, Wake Up Nigeria. And I am IGUVE. With me in the studio this morning,
Princess KESSY.
hello, Kess.
Hello, Ene. Good morning.
You are glittering in yellow.
From Lightuna. Actually, let me shine today.
Oh, you're looking like,
Yes,
madam.
after work, we go party. It's Friday, you know.
Yeah. And the first lady is taking the Oloja, the first daughter position is taking. So I don't know the one you're taking.
I'm taking everything we can. There's anyone that's available. Anyway, you look good yourself.
Oh,
Amazing. I love your designers and everything.
It's Friday, of course, and then we have to represent our African continent.
That is true.
Of course, we have the best designers. Your stylist is doing a good job. I know to pay extra.
You know now, I pay so much.
I know they do family business. I know you start slaying you, so of course.
Well, I used to pay how?
You have to pay extra, not just paying her. You have to pay extra.
Well, now moving forward, I'll be paying extra.
Yes, that's what you have to do. And then very quickly, before we take our newspaper reviews, there was a story of this student from University Obafemi Awolowo University at Ife that committed suicide. She and investigations are ongoing. And it baffles me why a young lady should get that point she wants to end it all. Because it's as a result of depression from what
Depression could be the factors could be from different things, ranging from when somebody is lonely, when you have boyfriend, emotional issues, rejection from family, from society, and lack of things you're supposed to have, even the normal basic amenities. If you don't have, if you can't access these things, and then there's nobody there for you, then health issues as well, mental health. These are some of the factors. So I just hope that people, we know that there's always that's why I tell people, reach out to somebody, ask them what's happening. And then you didn't tell me something about one of our persons some weeks ago, that you feel like she was going through a lot, and I took it upon myself. I started calling her. How are you? What's up? Are you fine? Yeah, smile for me, know that I love you. So I kept doing that because of what you told me. So before, normally, the people don't, people, of course, we live in a world where everybody is trying to package. Everybody's pretending to be fine. Deep down, a lot of people are not fine. I bet you a lot of people are not able to sleep even at night, but they still wake up. This thing that is peculiar with Nigerians, we're strong people. You just stand up, you look, you glow, you go to where you're going to. Yes, and the world sees you as, they even look up to you, they want to be like you, they wouldn't know what you are actually passing through or going through. So people are actually going through a lot. Don't reach out to somebody today, check on somebody.
And of course, for young people especially, sometimes parents are so busy and everyone is busy. For young people who go into the dating game early without understanding what is heartbreak, going through all of this emotional stress, and sometimes the parents are not even there for you to go to, to express your thoughts, and maybe because of fear, because we live in a society where dating to some is a taboo because of spirituality and religion and all of that. Some parents, sanction the children to a point where a child cannot come to the house and tell the mom, for instance, and say, "Mommy, I'm in love with this person. I think I have a boyfriend. I have a relationship," and you'll be able to mentor them. I think this is a discussion we should have maybe on relationship and romance, things, and then we can bring in experts and let people share their thoughts on when it's right for a child to get into the dating game and what they have to do,
and to open up to their parents as well. And this African thing here that even though we are like 40 years, 50, we still tend to hide away, shy away from our parents, because of course, that saying here, no matter how long the okra is, they will still blend it to block. So our parents will want to always put you in that spot to know that you're still my child, you can't do anything without me and all that. So I think because of that, children tend to hide. As I am now, I don't think I want to bring a guy to my house, my family house, just sit and feel free.
You
as
answer
this.
first.
Yes, so for that reason, I tend to do it outside as well. And we do hope that parent also is really a sad one.
It's really a sad one. It's
He's
really a
such
sad
a
one.
young girl.
Yeah, like I
Is it?
said, viewers, we are going to dedicate an episode to talk about parenting and a lot of issues and bring in experts. But right about now, we want to get into the business of the
Of the
day with
day.
our newspaper reviews. And very quickly, I will start with News Direct. Here are the stories that make the headlines from News Direct, the front page stories, and we have the banner headline there saying Tinubu seeks support from governors, list areas of priority for economy, appoints, the writer there says, appoints 8 special advisors. And that story is on page 4 of the Nigerian News Direct newspaper. Dambata would investors in Morocco to invest in Nigerians' broadband future. And that story is on page 2 of the Nigerian News Direct. Reps. Rep ad hoc staff, ad hoc committee, I beg your pardon. Reps ad hoc committee to investigate gas flaring $9 billion revenue loss. And that story can also be found on page 4 of this newspaper. ICPC arraigns ex-JAMB registrar Ojerinde, children, and 6 others. Story can also be found on page 4 of the News Direct newspaper. More stories coming from News Direct. Sanwo-Olu, Hamzat, Obasa, others grace 10th year remembrance of Tinubu's mother in Lagos. Nigerian Air, EFCC summons ex-aviation minister Sirika. Osun State, that story is from Osun State that says police probe suspected suicide by female OAU student. Inflation rate hits 22.41%, rises for fifth straight month in May. All of these stories can be found in the front page of the Nigerian News Direct.
Wow, just the lady you talked about. Osun police probe suspected suicide by female OAU student.
Sad one.
It's really sad. Okay. We saw a story here that says that Tinubu seeks support from governors, list areas of priority for economy, appoint 8 special advisors. Yes, the way forward, if you ask me.
I think the president is really working.
He is working.
And we hope he continues on
this way.
Yeah.
He is. You could see that since he came in, a lot of order here and there, a lot of actions. And I love the fact he's always emphasizing on the need for others to stand on their feet, because this is a job we asked for. He told the National Assembly leaders some days ago that it's time to roll up your sleeves, not going there to sleep, not going there to chit chat, but it's to work. So I said yesterday on the show that definitely this man has, of course, he has been in the country. He has been seeing what everybody's going through. So even before he came in, he was positive and he had to put the list of the things he had in mind. So he didn't come to say, okay, let me begin to look into this or see what's happening. He already had all this in view. So he came in, boom, and the next thing.
Exactly. I think he's really ready to work, because he has said, don't pity me. And since he came into power, he has not taken any excuses to say, I'm sick, I'm having back pain, I'm going for medical tourism, I'm going for all of this. He has been up and doing, having meetings, starting, making appointments.
Yes, the meetings. He's always having meetings.
Been seen, and every other thing Mr. President is up and doing. And we are praying and hoping that at the end of the day, he was able to, bring Nigeria back to claim its rightful place in the Committee of Nations. That is what we are really hoping for.
Yes, so we'll continue from there with the Daily Trust newspaper. These are some of the stories coming from Daily Trust. The main headline here says, I am not on the run, Malami. Sarika denies invitation from EFCC. 8 Buhari's ex-ministers under probe, EFCC source. Ex-president's corruption war, a one-man show. This is coming from Dawn, and all these stories are on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. There's a story here that says no innocent header killed in Nasarawa airstrike, and this is coming from NAV. That story is on page 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper. There's also a story here that says Nigeria's debt profile to hit 81 trillion naira following FS rate unification, and that story it's on page 22 of the Daily Trust newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says subsidy removal, NEC moves 747 billion naira palliatives. Now that story is on page 8 of the Daily Trust newspaper. There's a story here that says one dead as looters trapped under rubble of demolished Kano hotel, and that story is on page 34 of the Daily Trust newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Tinubu to governors, no time, no reason to complain, on page 8 of the Daily Trust newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says man who faked own kidnap loses 365,000 naira ransom to thieves, and that story is on page 25 of the Daily Trust newspaper. There's a story here that says first Muslim woman confirmed as the U.S. federal judge, and that story is on page 12 of the Daily Trust newspaper. That's all we have coming from Daily Trust this morning. There's a picture here that is telling a story. One dead as looters trapped under rubble of demolished Kano hotel.
You know this story about, there's a demolition, and instead of, people being sympathetic or trying to see how lives can be saved, maybe, or any other thing, saving people's properties, these looters, it happens here in Abuja all the time. There's a demolition, and the first thing people are actually out
is to cut away things,
to loot things, to steal. And then you see a lot of persons who actually, who have lost, their homes, losing properties as well. And then, like, how do you even feel? It's pathetic.
Take me back to some just last week or 2 weeks ago when we went to UTC to cover that demolition at the main UTC market there. We saw that we couldn't access, people could not access because the security agencies were always on ground. They had to tear gas the area. And when I asked why, they said because if they don't do that, people will come. The ones they call, there's a particular name they call them, they will come and start looting stuff. Meanwhile, some of the traders, some of the business owners, they have not been able to carry their stuff, their goods from the robbers. Then you will not see people coming to steal all these things. So they had to keep tear gassing the place to make sure that nobody go close to that place until, of course, people, the market owners, the business owner go there to go away with or carry everything they have left there. It's really sad.
That's really sad. And very quickly before we take on the next paper, we're talking about the man who faked his kidnapped, and at the end of the day losing money to thief. That's very funny. And then you have to fake your own kidnapping. At the end of the day you get kidnapped. Your money gets kidnapped. I think that is a fair game.
Yes, it's a fair game. So that next time the others too will learn from this. I love like we did said about the president, Tinubu to governors, no reason to complain. Of course, you came out, you wanted to be a governor. Now you are a governor. You know what to do. No reason. And those governors,
the economy in a bad light. You had a reason for.
Yes, and those governors that will always come from their states, coming to Abuja to hang out, to have fun. Please stay in your state. The people in the state, they voted for you. So stay there.
Senators.
Yes.
There's no reason to be in the federal capital territory.
Go to your state.
The capital territory for the president.
Go to your state and work. That is what we need. We move on quickly to the next newspaper. I saw a story here, and just before we go, first Muslim woman confirmed as U.S. federal judge. Congratulations to her.
Congratulations to her. And then very quickly, we take on the Punch newspapers and the stories that make the headlines. It says APC big wigs, just two for ministerial slots. Tinubu names 8 SAs. Party chieftain Favour Kayemo, Omo Agege, Fayemi, Adeyeye, Ganduje, Marafa, others. Edun appointed SC on monetary affairs. Alaki gets communication. Ribadu handles security. All of these stories can be found on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Naira weakens to 702 per dollar. CBN fresh FX supply likely. And that story is on page 19 of the Punch newspaper. Tinubu economic advisers proposes customs, NIMASA, FIRS merger. And story is on page 9. On page 29, I beg your pardon, of the Punch newspaper. Fuel subsidy. NEC moves 702 billion naira as workers' allowance. And that story is on page 11 of the Punch newspaper. EFCC summons Sirika, quizzes Nigerians air officials. And story is also on page 29 of the Punch newspaper. Probe begins as OAU student dies of suspected suicide. And that story can also be found on page 4 of the Punch newspaper. Both tragedy. FD vows prosecution of operators. Story on page 15 of the Punch newspaper. And of course, we have the picture story here, where we have the essays that were appointed by the president, and amongst them is the former EFCC boss, Malam Nuhu Ribadu. And we say congratulations to all of them. And we hope they advise the president right.
Wow. Wow. So I saw a story here as well that says this other one is she's young. I love that.
Two women,
and the other one is quite young.
Yeah, she's young. That is what's her name again? Very Jen. It's not very clear, and she's a special advisor on energy.
That is quite interesting. Congratulations once again to them.
And she's a new face.
Yeah, she's a new face. And that is why I said the president is working. And this story here that says subsidy remover, NEC more
2 billion
naira for workers' allowance. My own take on this is that no matter how you want to I don't know the palliatives that no matter the palliatives, I just think the fuel hike is too much. Because it will get to a place when you will stop giving the palliative. It's not something you do for a long time. Nigeria will still go back to that place of being stranded. So I just think that we know that the president is working. So my candid opinion is just for him to, the hike in fuel is too much.
It's just too much. It needs to come.
Abuja these days is usually dry, traffic prone area. You no longer see vehicular movements. You no longer see people. You could see people walking a very long distance, and it's horrifying.
And the sad part is, if you're working for the private sector, it's even worse.
It's worse.
They're not considerate. They don't consider workers' welfare. You know, yesterday I was discussing with a friend of mine. She's not a Nigerian, and then she's just like, I think 24 years, and she works for the UN. And the funny thing is, Kes, this individual only has a secondary school certificate.
Are you serious?
Yes, and she was able to get the job with the UN. And she said she has been working with UN for a very long time. That in their country, they actually even seek for these opportunities to give to them. And then I was like, oh, that's interesting. And she said something like, okay, she already has enough money saved up. And then she's going to work until she gets to 30 years. And then she's no longer going to work because she has enough money saved up already. And she's working in regions in Nigeria. She's being kept in the best houses. And then she said, even in the camp where she works, you can count how many Nigerians are there. And then the UN office is here in Nigeria. And the Nigerians cannot access these job opportunities. And then the question is why?
It's really sad, isn't it? It's really sad. And you know that the good thing is that a lot of people, a lot of our state government have given this 3 days work 2 days off, as in to cushion this, what's it called, the stress or whatever workers are actually going through. But not for the private sector. They still want you, yes, the same time, yes, and it's the same salary. Nothing is being done. People are complaining, and it's really like, I know some people I used to carry on my way to work. I used to give lift for my estate, and I've not seen them for quite some time. I saw one of them. She said, "Me, I stopped going to what my boss should do the worst, because my salary is just so little that even before this time, I could barely save, I could barely eat, I could barely feed well. Moreover now, so I just feel like since he's not moving or wants to do anything, we had to take the decision on our own, let the worst happen. So we're really hoping that the private sectors as well, they're going to do something. But before then, viewers, we did promise to bring in our guest. I will continue with the reviews, but quickly, let's bring in our guest before we go back to the reviews of the paper. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Praise, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wiliki, Konga, Bigiano, Nice Flow, Jet Play, and many more. Dates: 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue: Lighthouse Theatre, 262 to 274 Camberwell Road, London, SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more. Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Praise, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wiliki, Konga, Bigiano, Nice Flow, Jet Play, and many more. Dates: 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue: Lighthouse Theatre, 262 to 274 Camberwell Road, London, SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more details, visit our website www.superiorradio.
Okay, my people, it could not be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download TapTap app. Send as low as £1 to the account in Nigeria using SRTV as your transaction code. Screenshot your transaction and send to 447-459-513619 or email it to events@superiorradioandtelevision.com and the ticket will be sent to you ASAP. This is powered by SRTV London and TapTap Send. You already know what time it is. Your boy Ice Prince Amani. I can't wait to ride.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Praise, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wiliki, Konga, Bigiano, Nice Flow, Jet Play, and many more. Dates: 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue: Lighthouse Theatre, 262 to 274 Camberwell Road, London, SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more details, visit our website
Okay, my people, it could not be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download TapTap app. Send as low as £1 to the account in Nigeria using SRTV as your transaction code. Screenshot your transaction and send to 447-459-513619 or email it to events@superiorradioandtelevision.com and the ticket will be sent to you ASAP. This is powered by SRTV London and TapTap Send. You already know.
Hello.
Hello, you're welcome back. If you just joined us, the program is Wake Up Nigeria. And like we promised before we went on break, we would return with a guest. And this guest is no other but a former commissioner for mineral development, Plateau State, Honorable Jude Dako, the immediate past commissioner. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
How is Plateau the Beautiful? How is Plateau the Beautiful this morning?
Plateau is as beautiful as you know.
Wow. Okay. So we saw on the news this morning that the police, have taken some steps.
Yes, to seal up 17 secretariats. What is going on in that state? Just 3 days ago also, we saw that news, and this morning again, we are seeing the same news. What's happening in Plateau State, sir?
Yeah, I think it's just a confusion between what happened was the local government chairmen that were elected constitutionally,
Okay.
dissolved by the incoming administration.
Okay.
And then immediately set up transition implementation committee. And you know that based on the current constitution now, you are not supposed to dissolve local government chairmen that were democratically elected. The executive, the executive chairman.
Okay.
And that is why there's a conflict between those that were dissolved, purportedly dissolved, and the supposed incoming ones.
Okay. Okay, sir. How are the people reacting to this?
Yeah, there are mixed reactions, certainly, because it involves two political parties. And of course, there are anti-pro and those that are against. And those that were elected democratically, of course, which is not constitutionally, are supposed to allow to finish their tenure. I think that's why the confusion is coming in.
Okay. Wow.
Really, sir. So we saw that just the other day also we had a little bit of part also same thing similar in Nasarawa State, and this week we've been seeing that in Jos. Now, what do you think we avert things like this in the future?
Yeah, my advice is that you see, if we follow, if the right thing is done, there are laid down procedures in every environment. Even there are customary laws, even before there are so if these rules are followed, I don't think we have problem in the country. So my advice is for everybody to do the right thing at the right time.
Okay, sir. And as a former commissioner, what do you think this will mean for the democracy, especially in Plateau State? What do you think this would do in the long run, where a governor is exercising a superior rights and then trampling on other people's rights? What do you really think this will bring to the states?
I didn't get that question.
As a former commissioner, of course, someone who is very democratic and who is very, in discharging your duties as a commissioner, we've seen from your work that you've been very civil. So these actions, what do you think it will mean to democracy, especially in Plateau State?
Yeah, Yeah, I have made my statement clear that if right things are done, there will be no problem in the country and in Plateau State. Plateau cannot be an exception. It's part of Nigeria, and if things are done well, the future of our democracy will not be bleak. But where black is covered on white, because we expect a problem in future. But I think my own opinion is that the current administration should study the state very well. And of course, for every administration should have a blueprint. Just like Asiwaju is doing in federal, we've seen policies of governance that people are beginning to appreciate. In fact, I met with some people that did not vote Asiwaju yesterday. They said they regretted not voting him. This is the kind of democracy we want in Nigeria. That policies of governance should be people-oriented. In policy making, I'm a policy maker. In policy making, stakeholders engagement is very important. So you are making policy for people, not stunts. So when you come up with unpopular policies, people reject, people oppose it. So my opinion is that people should be engaged and then come up with policies that can prosper the life of people, that can ease movement, ease businesses, and progress the state. That's my opinion.
Okay, sir. The police did say that the action is to avoid possible threat to lives and properties as the result of leadership tussle that is currently ongoing in Plateau State. Now, do you think this is the sincere reason for sealing the place, or it's kind of politically motivated?
Yeah, they seal the place because if there is conflict between two people, as leaders, we must take decisions in order to avert the consequences. You understand? And part of the consequences that you know, when people were allowed to, if they were allowed to have clashed, there would have been the casualties, which is not good to our state. So the consequences, and of course, why the executive are even talking, why those that were democratically elected were rejecting the dissolution is because they already had a court order. They already had a court order, and the president was set in Oyo State and other states. So when you set president, they know preferences are led to justice. So the police had to seal the secretariat in order to avoid conflicts. But of course, court has served the police with a copy of the court order. So I think they are doing their job.
Okay. So now moving forward, what do we do? Especially now, these are people that are supposed to be serving the masses there in Plateau State. But as it stands, nothing is ongoing. Everything is standstill.
Moving forward, can you come back again, sorry, please? I
said, sir, moving forward, what should the citizens over there do? What should they be expecting? Because these are the people that were elected to serve the public, but as it stands, nothing is ongoing in that state as these 17 secretariats are under lock and key.
Yeah, moving forward, you see, our democracy is about 24 years old, if I will call. And, we used to call it nascent, but I don't think at 24, you are above 18 years. And what maturity brings, I feel like our democracy should have been matured by now, or is maturing. The things that were done by some predecessors before, before this period, I think they shouldn't be emulated again. So that we can move forward. We can't be stepping backward. And also that the local government seems to have its autonomy currently. And the local government too is a government on its own. So it should be allowed to function as a government, as a tier of government on its own. What if President Buhari wakes up tomorrow and dissolve governors, state governors at will? Can they agree?
No, certainly.
So if we are moving forward, then during the military rule, head of state that will come and say, okay, I don't need these governors again, let me change them. Now, we have gone past that. We have gone past that. So we should also go past the where a local government, will be dissolved by the state guard too.
Wow. Sir, that's quite loud and clear. But just before we let you go, talking about mineral development in Plateau State, what's going on? We know that you are the immediate past commissioner.
Yeah, we've come back to my field where I've served 4 years, even though I was commissioner of education before coming to minerals. And
wow.
I'm a mining engineer by profession too.
Okay.
When you talk of minerals in Nigeria, you know that it's Plateau State that will come to your mind because of the tin mining, which started in 1902. And of course, the tin mining in Plateau State has come to it has expanded to now to other neighboring states because of the geological formation. Also, we have other minerals like lead, zinc that are being mined in other parts of the state, most especially Wase and Kana. And we have limestone in other southern part of the state. And then we have the current lithium, the popular, the most needed mineral currently in the world. Also in part of the state, the southern part of the state. There are so many minerals, monazite, there are many. And of course, mining is the mainstay of Plateau State economy.
Okay.
And if you go to Plateau, you see everybody busy. If you have 1 kilo of tin, you know what is 1 kilo of tin? That is, it will fetch it in your palm. Your tin is very heavy.
Okay.
So 1 kilo of tin can fetch you 13,000 naira, which is very good.
Wow.
Okay, sir, let me just interrupt you there. With all of these mineral resources in Plateau State, and as a commissioner, a former commissioner, what were the steps you took to ensure that illegal mining is curtailed in the state? And what are the steps that you think your predecessors can as well take to ensure that there are no illegal miners?
We took these steps, most especially His Excellency, the past governor, Simon Babelano, who suspected the state company, the Plateau Mineral Development Company, that went into comatose before he came into power. And that was done in order to get revenue for the state. It's currently working. And then for those non-artisanal miners, they're not illegal. There are illegal miners are those that use machines to operate. When you use a machine without license, you bring excavator, you bring bulldozer, you begin to excavate minerals without license. Those ones are illegal. But for those using their shovels, their stick and whatever to get minerals, customarily, just like you go to a farm and farm, they are artisanal miners and they are recognized. If you go to the Ministry of Mines and Steel, you get the director. They have a department called Artisanal Miners Department. There's a director in charge of that. So we encourage them. As part of his policies, we're able to arrange them into groups. We're able to arrange them into cooperatives. And they're formalized in such a way. Partly formalized and formalized too. So I advise those coming in, or a commissioner that will come in and take my place to build on what we have done, rather than dissolving what we have done, so that we can move forward.
Well, thank you so very much. Well done, sir.
I'm advising them for constructions, because construction is not destruction.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's construction, not destruction.
Thank you so very much, sir, for your time this morning. We've been speaking with.
And do have a lovely weekend, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, viewers, we've been speaking with the immediate past Commissioner for Mineral Development, Jude Darko from Plateau State. Thank you and do have a beautiful day.
I think the commissioner said something really interesting. Um, and that's been the problem we have in Nigeria. It's been a major problem. And then you see a new administration coming in, and then you are dissolving the structures that have already been set up.
I said it.
Continuity should be something you build upon something that another person has built. You don't just come and start sacking people, start destroying structures, abandoning.
Look at what is happening in Kano. I need to bring somebody from Kano on the show one of these days. Look at the massive destruction, the demolition, a lot of things. The ordinary citizens there, the ordinary Nigerians are complaining, they're groaning. This is not, it's as if though at the beginning people felt, okay, it was targeted at some said personality, but as it stands, you could see hotels, you could see major roundabouts, you could see a lot of structures are going down. And of course, we read on the news that somebody died under the rubble. These are some of the things we're talking about. So you just come into power, you dissolve, you destroy everything that has been built. And these things were built with money, with time and energy, and you start destroying. Yes. And you start destroying. You don't want to build on these legacies. And then when you leave, also somebody else comes and they do what? They start destroying. Where are we going?
And of course, the state is big. There are a lot of areas to develop. There are a lot of new innovations to bring to the state. So if, for instance, you are the commissioner for work or the minister for work, and you constructed a roundabout around the FCDA or somewhere in the Federal Capital Territory that is not according to my taste, so long as that roundabout is serving and is not causing any harm to people's lives, you can also construct another roundabout in another part of Abuja, or you can decide to go and bring a dual carriage or even bring another new innovation. Instead of, I think sometimes it's as a result of hate, or maybe you were having something in mind against the past administration, and you just want to write them off. You just want to make sure nothing.
This is the issue, and now it's as if, okay, I'm going to do this to get back at him. So it's not even about the ordinary citizens. It's about the power tussle we keep talking about. It's about politicians who are getting back at each other. Okay, let me see. I'm in power now. I'm in charge. That is it. Yes, let me see what she will do. Not knowing that, okay, whatever you do today, somehow, one way or the other, is going to affect the citizenry, and it's really sad.
And of course, you can see what Mr. President is doing. I really have to applaud him, and I really hope he continues. Even with the suspension of the CBN governor, lots of Nigerians were happy about it because it was long expected, for all his mistakes and every other thing he did in office. So when he took that step, Nigerians applauded him because it was something that we all were expecting would have happened a long time ago. But because former President Buhari didn't do that, and people came in, and he didn't take that step immediately. He did his investigations, and of course, before he took the steps, and we are all happy about.
And recall that there has been calls from different quarters for this suspension, for this removal. So he came in, and don't forget also that even the EFCC chairman that he was suspended yesterday indefinitely, he had a meeting with the man, and the moment the man leaves the villa, he suspended the man. So I think he's really tactical about the way he is going about the things. He has a wisdom in handling these things. That news yesterday, a lot of people said, I went on Twitter. If you want to see what's happening in this country, just go on Twitter. That is it. And you see the reactions of people. And I could see the reaction yesterday. The moment the man left the villa, he was suspended. He had a meeting. With the EFCC chairman, and before you know, he was suspended. And so everybody, all Nigerians were applauding, all Nigerians were happy. They were saying, oh, this is a good move. Anyway, viewers, we'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll come back with more of the reviews. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a
Ice Prince.
Okay, my people, it could not be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download TapTap app. Send as low as £1 to the account in Nigeria using SRTV as your transaction code. Screenshot your transaction and send to 447-459-513619 or email it to events@superiorradioandtelevision.com.
Welcome back, and of course, if you just joined us, it's Friday, and of course, we are here live at our SRTV studios and bringing to you lots of interesting, discussions this morning. And the program is Wake Up Nigeria. Before we went on this break, we just had a discussion with the immediate past commissioner for mineral development in Plateau State, Honorable Jude Dako. And of course, he shared lots of brought lots of information forward about the mining sector, and of course bear his thoughts on the activities of the police in sealing 17 local governments in Plateau State. And very quickly, before we take on the more newspaper, we'll bring you more newspaper reviews. The 17 local governments that have been sealed includes Jos North, Jos South, Jos East, Bassa, Kanam, Barkin-Ladi, Kwanyam, Pam, Wase, Langtang North, Langtang South, Pangshin, Shendam, Riom, Mikang, Kanke, Mangu, and Bokos local governments. 17 local governments. I was about to bite my tongue.
But you tried. That's amazing.
Plateau names can be very, complicated, and I was just trying to read it as as I was looking at it. Plateau people, I hope I tried that.
You tried. Really, you tried.
Okay, so viewers, very quickly, we take on more newspaper reviews, and then from Vanguard newspaper, the stories that make the headlines. Tinubu to neck, no excuse for failure. And that story can be found on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. NEC considers payment of 703 billion naira to workers as palliative for subsidy removal. Most legislative financial support for vehicle manufacturers to approach World Bank for loan. Daily fuel consumption drops from 66 million to 41 million. All of this can be found on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. EFCC, CBN chiefs, Abakoba asked Tinubu to remove INEC chair. And this story can be found on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. TUC to FG, watch out for forex speculators. Story on page 8. 7.9 billion naira fraud. Court holds trial of ex-minister Odua over threat to judge. And story is on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. Nollywood actor Don Brimo O. Uchego slums dies on location in Port Harcourt. That's a very sad one.
Yes, I was going to speak on that, Ene. We saw that there's something that is ongoing. There's something that is ongoing in Nollywood that I don't understand. I don't know if it's pressure. I don't know if it's work. I don't know what it is. There's this thing that it's quite peculiar with Nollywood stars. This would be the 4th or 5th I've seen. Don't forget the other man. His name is David. I can't remember the other name. The same thing happened again in Port Harcourt. This has happened like 2 times already. So what is going on? Okay. The other man that this happened to, he was shooting also. He slumped and died in Port Harcourt. One day. I don't know if you remember him. That's his nickname. He used to be among the call. Charles Aworu, Charles Okafor. He's dark. He used to have ratty hair that time. It's quite dark. this same thing happened to him. And then we had the other guy that is fat, this same thing happened. And then this Brian Domo, we all know Brian Domo to be somebody that is he has energy, so active. So I was shocked yesterday when I saw that report. Like, what is going on? It could be,
I've been on location, and sorry to interrupt you there. I think most of the times you talked about pressure. It could be part of it, and of course, unhealthy lifestyle.
That is true.
To over consumption of alcohol, and then
not sleeping well as well, and then you keep working,
and then you go on location. There is no provision for
proper
emergency response. There is no ambulance. There are no medical personnel on ground. So I think what the actors guilds have to do, or those responsible for checking how movies are produced in Nigeria, the censor board and all of those people have to be on deck to ensure that some things should be put in place. If you are shooting a movie, you must ensure that there is a medical team on ground to respond to
at least first aid, something like that.
I believe that if somebody slumps and dies, what we do in Nigeria, you start fanning, you start doing this, But if there is a medical personnel on ground, before you start, looking for vehicle to convey this person to the nearest hospitals, and of course, movies are not shot in the middle of the city, Sometimes they go outside at the outskirts of of the city. So if a lot of things are put in place, not just shooting movies and going on low budget, if you really want to go into the business of producing movie, you need to invest in it, because at the end of the day, you can't just risk people's lives. Of course, he was on location, and in his slums, there is no emergency medical team to respond.
So we've been hearing different reports. I've seen some news that said he died on his sleep.
I saw that on Twitter yesterday too.
Another says he slumped and died on location. So this is coming from a major newspaper. They must have done the investigation. So we are sticking with this one. He slumped and died. I was just having the thought yesterday. In fact, I was speaking with one of the Nollywood star that is a resident in Asaba, that what is going on in your industry. So I was even hoping I could bring the president, the president of Nigerian Actors Guild, to one of my shows and ask these questions you were asking now. What is it that why is it becoming that people go to locations, they just slump and die while working? Is it the work pressure, not sleeping well, not eating well, like you rightly said, no medical presence to the shooting? So these are some of the questions we'll be asking when I eventually get him on my show. But it's really a sad one, because this is somebody that makes people to laugh. He dances, he sings, and is just a vibrant human. But anyway, sad one. Rest in peace. Amen.
And then more stories coming from the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Presidential poll, over 18,088 results. INEC uploaded blood. Peter Obi's witness. And that story can be found on page 33 of the Vanguard newspaper. Tribunal. Tinubu kicks as court admits INEC's exhibit containing his biodata. And that story can be found on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. FG appoints FBI Academy alumnus Chukoi as AG, EFCC chairman. And story can be found on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Subsidy. Oil marketers plan petrol import as CBN floats Naira. And that story can also be found on page 9 of the Nigerian Vanguard newspaper. And that is all from the front page of the Vanguard newspaper.
Yes, quickly now we move to the Nigerian Tribune. These are some of the stories making waves. We have poor economy. We ask for tough job. We can't complain, Tinubu tells governors. And the writer says, NEC move to provide palliatives for workers, vulnerable groups. Federal government to seek World Bank funds to implement CNG. All these stories are on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. There's a story here as well that says, reps reject motion to stop Japa syndrome. Motion is breach of 1999 constitution. That story is on page 12. of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says INEC tenders Tinubu's bill data form. BVAS reports for 36 states, FCT as Yakubu. Now, I will go on a quick break. When I return, we'll continue with the reviews. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Praise, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wiliki, Konga, Bijiano, Nice Flow, Jetplay, and many more. Dates 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue Lighthouse Theatre, 262 to 274 Camberwell Road, London SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more details, visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week, produced by SRTV in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Nigeria Film Corporation, and lots more. Don't be told, be there. Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Prince, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wileke, Konga, Bigiano, Nice Flow, Jetplay, and many more. Dates.
Welcome back from that quick break. If you've just joined us, this is Wake Up Nigeria. We're reaching you live from our SRTV studio here in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. We're still on the newspaper reviews. Earlier, we had a commissioner from Plateau State that spoke on some of the issues, the little power tussle going on in that state, and of course, the mining sector there. So some of the stories from the Nigerian Tribune says INEC tenders Tinubu's biodata from Beaver's report for 36 states, FCT, as Yakubu sends representatives to present 4 out of 11 documents listed in Sofina. LP tender over 18,000 blood polling unit results in evidence. All these stories on page 29 of the Nigerian Tribune. There's a story here that says rising food prices push inflation rate to 22.4%, and this is coming from NBS. Another story here says why IGP sealed 17 local government secretariats in Plateau. Governor calls for calm, and that story is on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune. Alleged sale of government property, ICPC arraign Ojerinde, son's daughter-in-law in fresh suits, and that story is on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. We'll have a story here that says over 150 anti-grift CSOs celebrate Bauer's suspension. Calls for thorough investigation over allegations, and that story is on page 26 as well of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Another story here says Tinubu appoints Ribadu, Aleke, Idu, Adejiji, 4 others as special advisors. These are all the stories coming from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. This Japa Ene.
You know, when I saw that Japa story, the first thing that came to mind is the government have no right to stop anyone from going anywhere. Because their children are traveling, they're not even in.
They live there.
So why are you?
As a matter of fact,
stop people from traveling? It's our constitutional right. There's right to movement, right to.
There's right for migration to migrate to anywhere you wish to go as a human being. So I don't understand why. So if for instance, I have an opportunity to go abroad and study, to go do something, you tell me I cannot, but I cannot go.
And when the country is not
when you are not even doing the right thing. So you want people to stay back here. Your children are there getting the best of education, the best medical health care, and you just want other people to live here, suffer, and die here. This is not.
Even in developed countries where they have everything,
they still allow their people to
stop anybody from traveling.
Yes, or migrating
to another country. So it's a good thing that the reps
rejected.
Would bring such motions.
Yes,
101 motions. You know.
Yes, a lot of things that we need. They need motions. They be. I don't even understand. Yes.
That's why sometimes when I look at these people representing us, sometimes I just, let me reserve my comments.
Yes.
Let me reserve my comments.
Yes. Anyway, there's a story here that says rising food prices push inflation rate to 22.4%. And have you been to the market recently?
I'm even scared to go to the market. I was supposed to go to market tomorrow to restock because my kitchen is absolutely empty.
As well as my kitchen.
Like, I don't even know where to start from. So try yesterday, I was munching bread because guys, everything is expensive. Everything is expensive. I went to a nearby shop to get noodles. Of course, even the noodles that they said it's not very healthy. But
but there was a news yesterday. NAFDAC actually confirmed that killer noodles causing cancer, causing cancer or cancer causing something like that. I saw in the news yesterday. it's not in Nigeria here.
Okay.
I saw that news. In fact, it was on the headline yesterday. Yes. They didn't say that. Let me read that news out again for you to be sure. To be sure of what I saw yesterday. Yes, implicated cancer causing noodles not in Nigeria. NAFDAC confirms.
That's interesting.
Relieving as well.
And relieving, because for me, I love noodles. It's a quick food. It's a fast one, and then anyhow it is, you just make noodles and blend it and every other thing, and you're safe. So, but even noodles is not cheap anymore, Kess. Like, you can't make a plate of noodles. Before, with your 200 naira, with your 300, you can prepare one healthy noodles. But right now, you can't do that. But so sometimes,
except you just want to eat the dry noodles.
I pity the little children, because children don't like the dry noodles. You have to maybe add egg, add one of
vegetables and all that
to make it healthy for them. Things are really on the high side.
Anyway, we'll take the last paper for the day and we'll call it a wrap.
This Nigeria, and then the stories that makes the headline says daily fuel usage drops from 66 million to 41 million. That statement is from NEC. Moves legislative financial support for vehicle manufacturers. FG considers payment of 703 billion naira to workers to approach World Bank for loan.
Are we still going for loans?
I think at this point the country is broke.
But can't we just do without the loan? After all, we're already here. Everybody is feeling it. More loans.
And that story can be found on page 4 of this Nigerian newspaper. Nigeria's inflation rate still high, gallops to 22.41% in May 2023. And that story can be found on page 19. Tinubu begs 36 state governors to support his government. And the story is on page 5 of this Nigerian newspaper. Military airstrike didn't kill innocent civilians. NAF replies HRW. And story is on page 15 of this Nigerian newspaper. And reps reject motion seeking to ban Japa syndrome. And story is on page 7 of this Nigerian newspaper. And court admits statistics report from articles forensic examiner. Admit 18,000 blood results in Obi's petition. And story can be found on page 13 of this Nigerian newspaper.
Yes, I saw a story here in that daily fuel usage drops from 66 million to 41 million. What do you expect? Let's pray that it won't go to 20. That is the prayer at this point, because not everybody will be able. Like, I got home yesterday, I went to church, after which I got home, there was no single food at home. I was so tired. I was almost sleeping off. I had to drive. I couldn't drive. I had to call somebody to come pick me up because I lacked the energy to drive. So somebody drove to my house. We went out just to get the food and come back home. I didn't waste up to like 5-10 minutes. I went to the restaurant, and you could see the road at that hour on Thursday. No vehicular movement, no single person. And the guy was telling me, what do you expect? These days we don't go out though. We only go to places that is because you're important. That's why I came to pick you to buy this food. If not, once you are not, now we have a scale of preference about how the itineraries for every week. We only go out when it's important. So if it's not
the time when we came out today, if it were like when the fuel prices were still,
the traffic would have been a lot of traffic, especially on my road. The traffic would have been terrible. But anyway, we just really do hope that the federal government will do something to bring down the fuel prices. No longer funny. That would be a good place to wrap up the reviews and the show as well.
Oh, guys, it's Friday.
Yes,
my
so
this Japa, now that I'm planning to find a way, and Japa, they want to come and put, like, nobody should put Sanson in my career. Please.
I'm telling you.
And of course, we are done with work. It's been Mondays to Friday, so we have to chill. Even though there is no money in the country, we still have to chill.
Yes, it's Friday, and while you're out there having fun, trying to unwind, relax, get a fresh air. But please take care of yourself and stay at alert as well. And while you are out there, to the public, private people, especially the private car owners, help as many people as you can, genuinely and sincerely, not with something at the back of your mind. Just help somebody, because people are really going through a lot, and be nice to people out there as well. Before we go, don't forget to hit on the notification bell,
and of course leave us a comment. Follow us on all our social media handles, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course we are always here on YouTube.
Yes, and don't forget our Nigerian Week London that is fast approaching. It's just next month, and we'll have a lot of ministries, agencies that are partnering with us. We also have film producers, musicians, fashion icons, individuals that are already coming on board. So you don't want to be left out. Just go to evabrite.com/Nigerian Week and get yourself a ticket, and of course book a stand. You can come as a buyer, as a seller, just come and have fun, and unwind. It's going to, yes, whatever it is, business opportunity as well, it's going to be fun. So be part of that event.
And of course our Nigerian, jollof rice, everything Nigerian,
everything will be there, as well as
already,
as well as even palm wine, bushmeats, local delicacies, abacha, everything you need, edikaiko, banga, yam, everything will be available. So don't be left out. Don't forget also that we're going to have a lot of even cinema will be open there, showcasing our movies and a lot of things. You don't want to be, you need to be there. So do find a way to attend that event.
Get now to attend.
As it hot. Yes, and thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me on the show. It's always a
pleasure.
An interesting date to be on the show.
Yes.
Wake Up Nigerian show, where we get to wake people up, do the right thing.
Yes. Well, thank you, viewers. Also, I won't forget to thank the people behind the camera. Thanks for all you do, even the crew in London. We appreciate you. Thank you so very much. And I remain yours truly, Princess KESSY.
And of course, I remain your girl, IGUVE. Have a lovely weekend.
Yes, and remember that peace is priceless. So let's give peace a chance. See you again on Monday.
Bye.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will shock